Ace, you're on with Marky
Put the
Meatball.
chain in the door just so I don't have to get up.
Hey, how's it going, Ace?
Hey, how you doing? My fiance was going downstairs to get me another cup of coffee.
Oh, man. It's early enough in the morning, man. You got to be cranking that coffee.
We had a late night, you know.
Yeah.
First time we've been in the city
Oh,
in
man.
a while in a hotel, so we took advantage of that.
Good call. Well, you're out with the new solo record, 10,000 Volts. It's out this month. Going out on a U.S. tour. Welcome to the Rocker Morning Show, Ace Frehley. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. No, your new album, 10,000 Volts, it's coming out February 23rd. We've heard a little bit of it already. It sounds awesome. What's on this record that maybe you haven't been able to do before that might stand out from your previous work?
I think the biggest difference between this album and previous albums is I collaborated with Steve Brown. And, you know, Steve, he's much younger. He's 20 years younger than me.
Okay.
And his two favorite guitar players was Ace Frehley and Eddie Van Halen, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
And so it was a dream come true for him to work with me. And he worked his ass off and brought me a couple of great songs. And, you know, we developed them. A lot of times I rewrote a lot of the lyrics because, you know, I'm a better lyricist than him. But he's technically probably a better guitar player than me.
Do you find that he kind of put a little jolt in your writing ability? Because like you said, you know, he is 20, 30 years younger than you.
Well, me and Steve, all I could tell you is when the first day me and Steve got together, we wrote Walking on the Moon in one day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty much that's the way we worked, you know. He'd come to my studio at noon, and by the end of the day, we'd have another song.
Yeah.
Wow. Fast turnaround.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, obviously, you know, you mentioned that you're a better lyricist, too. You know, do you find it difficult, you know, the older you get and the longer you go in your career to find material to write about?
Lyrics have always come easy for me. I don't know why. I usually write the lyrics for a song in about 30 minutes. Sometimes it feels like they're being beamed into my head by aliens.
Well, they do call you the spaceman. I mean,
No, on Valentine's Day, this was kind of interesting. You posted a video playing a live version of Rocket Ride, which said kind of gave you the confidence to sing. What was it about that song that gave you that boost in confidence?
I don't know. It's like I just come up with guitar riffs and I develop them. You know, people say to me, do you have any type of formula for writing? And I said no. Sometimes I start off with a lyrical idea and add music, or vice versa. I come up with a guitar riff and add lyrics. There's no set parameters that I use to write songs.
We know, too, that you've got a long-standing relationship with Gibson Les Paul as your kind of go-to guitar. Did you ever get to visit the Gibson Guitar Factory in Kalamazoo before they moved their headquarters?
Yes, I did.
yeah, what did you think about that? Because, I mean, I know, you know, they moved, and Kalamazoo obviously is in Michigan with us. Like, do you remember that trip? Do you remember any details about it?
I remember it vividly, and I'll never forget the way they cut out Les Pauls. They had like a model of a Les Paul, and they had like a bar, and that's how they got the curvature of the Les Paul.
Yeah.
You know, just by like duplicating. It's hard to explain the process, but as far as I'm concerned, the Les Pauls are the greatest rock guitars in the world. If you look at heavy metal bands, you'll always see a Les Paul.
Yeah, yeah.
Very true. That's cool that you got to see that.
Yeah, that was fascinating. And then, you know, the factory down in Nashville, I was probably at a half a dozen times.
Okay.
Nice.
Actually, the last time I was down there, I bumped into Peter Frampton. They had found his black Les Paul.
I'm sorry, you dropped a name there. I'm going to pick that up for you.
I'm really thrilled about this new album because there's no filler on it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's one thing that I appreciate, you know, about your solo work, especially because, like, there's no bands these days write albums for like contractual obligations. You know, they put out the 2 or 3 singles and then they just fill it in with a bunch of fluff and stuff. It never seems that's the case for your records.
Well, I take pride in what I do musically, and I don't believe in putting songs on a record that I consider filler.
Right.
You know, I want every song to be good. It's really interesting about this album because I've been doing interviews for the last 2.5 months. A lot of people that have heard the record have different favorites.
Okay, yeah.
This is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
It's a really good thing.
I feel like that's a good sign of diversity on the record. So I feel like that's very important.
Well, yeah, I think that certain songs appeal to certain people.
Right.
If you're not a metalhead, you can always listen to "Life of a Stranger," "Back into My Arms Again." There's softer, more melodic songs on the record than the headbanger songs.
Yeah.
And,
right.
Good variety. I end the record with a song called "Stratosphere," which is an instrumental, which is very soothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you obviously have a big following. You've always had a big following in Michigan and in Detroit, especially with your time in KISS. I'm curious how much you remember about the homecoming gig that you guys played for Cadillac High School.
Yeah, I remember that kind of vividly. It was very, very strange. They changed Main Street in the town to Kiss Street or whatever the hell they did. When we were on a float, and then we went to the high school, and all the kids were dressed up in Kiss makeup, and it was thrilling, and it was very sweet the way everybody cooperated. We sat down with the town council. Even the mayor had Kiss makeup on.
That is so cool.
Oh, man. Well, you're a legend in the rock and roll industry. Congratulations on the new record, 10,000 Volts, which we can't wait to hear the rest of it on February 23rd. And the tour, obviously, dates, dancing all around the area that people can come see you with that incredible VIP experience. Man, Ace, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. We really appreciate your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks so much, Ace.
We'll see you on the road, brother.
Okay, brother. Have a great day.